Good morning and welcome to the Gruyère European Curling Championships 2014, coming to you live from Le Palladium, Champéry, Switzerland. So, we are here to see the draw 4 of the women's competition. It will be between Germany and Denmark. And you see Germany only 1 win, 2 defeats. Denmark 2 wins with that single defeat. So I'm Kenny Edwards and I'm joined by Logan Gray for this game this morning.
Estonia versus Finland.
Good morning, Kenny.
On sheet D,
and you can just hear the teams getting announced for this draw 4.
On sheet E, Scotland.
So let's take a look at the lineups. For Germany, lead Lisa Ruch. Second, Kerstin Ruch.
Teams, you may cool your sliders and take
Third player,
breaks.
Monika Wagner. And of course, the formidable skip, Andrea Schupp, coached by Rainer Schupp. Denmark, lead Charlotte Clemensen. Second, Shanna Ellegaard. Third player, Stephanie Riesdahl. And the skip, Lena Nielsen. Alternate, Isabella Clemensen. And return to international curling for Ulrich Schmidt as the coach.
Turn off their cell phones and please no flash photography during the game.
Yeah, so let's take a look at the standings. There we see a surprise package of Finland right at the top on 3 wins. Denmark there on 2 and 1. And there's Germany sitting middle of the table with that single win so far. So just about to get underway. And how do you expect this one to pan out, Logan?
Well, I think it's probably a more important game for the Germans than the Danes. Just elsewhere on the ice here in draw 4, Latvia and Russia. Sweden against the Czech Republic, Estonia against Finland, and Scotland against Switzerland on the end board. Yeah, I think it's probably a more important game for Germany than Denmark. I think as soon as you drop below a 500 record, sitting on 1 and 2 at the moment, then you really have to do some work. You can't really afford to drop too far below that if you want to qualify for the playoffs. Of course, the top 4 go into our page playoff system. Denmark probably got off to a flying start with an unexpected win against Scotland. They did, however, fall to Russia in the second game, but bounced back with a win against Estonia.
So Charlotte Clemensen for Denmark. Just trying to play the nose hit on this red stone back of the forefoot. Just managed just to half that one out, tidy things up. This is our first appearance at European Championships. So Lisa Ruch, student for Germany, just looking to maybe throw a tight guard.
Well, this one's going to come down into the rings. I think both teams are probably quite content to have a clean first end and ease themselves into this game. This Danish team is quite inexperienced. A little bit of a change up from the lineup we've seen it over the last Olympic cycle for the Danes. Lena Nielsen sticking around at skip and Shanna Ellegaard also from that team, but new players at lead and third.
Yeah, a change also for Team Germany. Andrea Schopp. Old partner in Monica Wagner, back at 3. They've had a lot of success over the years. Kirsten Rusch, the elder of the sisters.
Yeah, just really trading hits here in this first end.
So Jana Ellegaard for Denmark. This is her 5th European Championships, picking up bronze in 2007. So they would say the rules of play: 6 ends minimum, 38 minutes thinking time with 1 minute timeout. So not really too many stones in play in this first end. Do you expect to see a lot of stones in play throughout the game, or do you think both teams will try and keep it nice and clean?
Well, I certainly think the Germans, Andrea Schopp, that generally likes to call quite a clean game, definitely plays to her strengths, a really good takeout player. The Danish, I would say Lena Nielsen is generally quite an aggressive player and calls a game with lots of stones in play. It'll be interesting to see whether she sticks with that game plan with with this new team and the new players, their first international championships. She may well just want to keep it a little bit clean so they're not taking too much risk, and make it a nice tight game. And here's a first look at Monica Wagner, the 49-year-old secretary.
Yeah, lots of experience, Monica, 2-time world champion and European champion 7 times.
Yeah, and I was laughing at her biography, or other interests are cooking, reading, and doing nothing. So here's Stephanie Riesdahl, the 23-year-old. She was actually the skip of the Danish team at the World Juniors last year. Not really much to discuss here in the first end. There's a little bit of a suspect takeout in there where one just sneaked out of the rings, but both teams do seem content just to have a blank first end. Just gently break themselves in. I think as well, for the teams, it's still early in the competitions, and they're not that confident with the ice conditions. It does take a few days for the ice to bed in and really for the stones to react exactly how they would expect. So by doing this, it just allows them to get the entire sheet up to speed, and maybe they can, once they know the ice conditions and are a little bit more confident, then they can really start to mix things up and get some stones in play.
So first look at Andrea Schopp for Germany. Makes a nice hit and stay. So Lennon Nielsen just play the nose hitting this outside red. I don't think we'll see anything too fancy here. Denmark do have last stone.
Lena Nielsen actually, over the last 3 years at the European Championships, she's managed to qualify for the playoffs and then ended up coming 4th. So she has won the bronze medal twice before, and we'll certainly be looking to get back in about them this week. Andrea Schaub, no stranger to winning medals at this level herself. She has 12 European medals, Kenny. 7 of them gold. Very impressive.
Yeah, that last gold medal coming back in Aberdeen, I think it was about 2009, wasn't it? Yeah.
Yeah, and that was actually her first one since 1998. Did have a fantastic season in the 09-10 season, winning the World Championships as well. Great feat being the European and the World Champion at the same time. But here's the final stone of the first end.
And just doing enough to spin out a plate and blank the first end. So no score after the first end here in Champéry, Switzerland.
Well, they're obviously not morning people in Champéry. The stands are much more bare than they were over the weekend.
Yeah, so Germany get us underway in the second end. Expect maybe to see a few more stones in play. I think we might see Denmark just play the hit on this one because it's on the button. Germany not really wanting to get involved with the guards.
Oh, what have we here? This does not look overly accurate. Well, it just didn't look like he even had a chance, and I don't think Charlotte Clemenson can quite believe it.
Yeah, just a little high. So good chance for Germany now to just put a centre guard on this. It does make the guard quite nice, but it's probably a little bit longer than they would have liked. So we'll just see Denmark attempt to come around, maybe just tap the red back a couple of feet and sit shot in behind that guard. So chance to redeem herself now. So Charlotte Clemenson looking a little high with this one as well, and just not brought her A game. And that one just hanging on at the back.
Well, one thing's for sure, you don't really want to be going past the tee line in that situation. You need to get your stones in a usable position in front of the house, and yeah, it's really just a poor second end from the young Danish lead. So really a fantastic opportunity here for Germany. Interestingly, Kenny, last night we covered Sweden against Russia on this very sheet, and the Swedes were really struggling out there, and I haven't spoken to some of the coaching staff this morning. They were really struggling with the stones actually on this sheet, and I believe Germany will be playing them, so we'll see if they can work them out a little bit better than the Swedes did last night, as they fell to the Russian team.
This one looks pretty nice, just gets past the top guard, probably does enough to protect the red. Straight away Denmark, not messing around, just going to take both these guards off.
Oh, I think it's a really wise call from Lena Nielsen here, and an experienced call. Don't want to get sucked in this situation. You've got double centre guard on. Germany have a nice stone on the button. You go for a draw here and make a miss, then you're going to be in serious trouble. So,
and just missed the shot on the button, and by doing that, they've sort of blocked their way in if they need to bail out now. They've got both sides of the forefoot covered, and that's not really where you want to. You at least want to have one side of the forefoot open. Looking at that, they're pretty well blocked up.
Yeah, I think they call that one a tweener. I think if they're an inch either side, they get rid of 2 stones out of the 3 here, but instead they leave all these guards around and the one on the button. Bit unfortunate there for the Danes.
So some good play by Germany here, just protecting that stone in the 1 foot. There we see Coach Ulrich Schmidt, vastly experienced himself at the international level.
Yeah, he's been to a few European finals himself. And hasn't really shown face too much over the last Olympic cycle, but good to see him back here in Champéry. Well, going for the run back here, and how does this one look? Great shot by Shanna Ellegard, mopping things up.
Yeah, that's really nice now. And it's forcing Germany around the corner guards. See this one come down just inside of the nose.
Yeah, and really well called there by Lena Nielsen as well.
So Rainer Schopp, the coach for Team Germany, brother obviously to Andrea.
Well, the Supers are really giving this the full treatment, but Doesn't manage to get it past the guard, and just a great wall of stones out in front. We might well see Denmark choose to just tidy things up, but let's have a look at Scotland and Switzerland. So here's Eve Muirhead. Both teams 2-1. The world champions actually from the last 2 years playing against each other. Switzerland, of course, the reigning champions, and a huge mistake there by Eve. Great chance to score 2. It will only be 1 and an inch tighter. That could have been a big steal for Switzerland. So 1-0 there on the end sheet, Scotland against Switzerland.
Yeah, Denmark just thinking it's a little bit dangerous having that centre guard on, so they're just going to peel it off.
Well, they just need to be careful about the redirection of this. Oh, can you believe it? Can you believe it? That one backs right off the centre line, and zero contact for Stephanie Ruisdahl here.
Yeah, so not a great start to this second end for Denmark.
Yeah, and takes out the shot stone on the back of the 12-foot there as well.
So another opportunity for Germany to try and get something in behind the cover. Doesn't quite manage it. It does push the red into the top 12.
Well, I think that was poorly called there by Andrea. I'm not really too sure why she wasn't swooping that one to try and make a tap. So, a chance to make up for her previous mistake. Ruisdahl.
Super's going hard on this one. And again, just narrow this time. Denmark really struggling.
Well, and that opens up the draw in behind the centre guards now for Germany. That's 3 flashes and 1 end from Denmark on open takeouts. Really not what you'd expect to see at this level.
Yeah, you see there's a big gap on the in-turn, or clockwise rotation. And green light's on, just to indicate it's been released before the hog line. This line from Andrea Schopp looks quite wide, actually. Does enough to sit 2, but has left a relatively easy double now.
No. The problem here that Lena has is that if she wants to play the double, then she's taking her shooter towards the wing and opening up a draw behind the centre guard. So if she ever made the double and kind of spun out the front of the rings, then it would be a great chance to steal for Germany. So if Denmark do choose to play the double here, then they do need to try and make sure they stick their shooter stone in the house.
Yeah, just looking at the angles there, it looks around a half stone. Any thicker than that, you're probably going to spin right out over the top of the red on the left. So just over curled, as we said, spun right over the top. left Germany sitting 1, and with that open draw, round 2, the button to maybe force a steal here in the second.
Another look at this one, just hits it too thick and doesn't manage to get that redstone moving. And now a fantastic opportunity here for Andrea.
So let's see what split time the hog to hog is. See what the speed the ice is running at this morning.
Oh, I think yesterday we were kind of looking at like 14.1. So this is 12.9, so should have quite a lot of running. Obviously the shorter time, the faster the stone's going. It does look like the ice is probably a similar speed to yesterday, so we're probably looking for kind of the low 14s for our for a draw to the tee and a big let-off. And now Lena Nielsen can actually try and blank this second end and keep the last stone.
Yeah, really poor end from Denmark. If they can manage to get out of this without giving up a point, it's pretty surprising, really.
Yeah, giving up a point and not having to relinquish the hammer as well would be a great result for the Danes.
So final stone of the second end for Lena Nielsen and Denmark. Looking to run the yellow right back onto the red to blank the end. Just catches it a little thin, and it will be a single point for Denmark.
Okay, again, just going back to our game last night, we did see quite a lot of in-turn takeouts out wide there, running quite straight, especially on the Russians. And Lena Nielsen getting caught out with the same thing there. So after 2 ends, it's Denmark 1, Germany 0.
So Lena Nielsen with her final stone of the second end, playing the in-turn takeout. This one just sits a little high, drives the yellow back onto the red for the single point. So into the third end, and you're watching live coverage from the Gruyère European Curling Championships 2014, coming to you live from Le Palladium, Champéry, Switzerland. Denmark versus Germany is our feature game.
Yeah, well, I don't think some of these lead stones in the last couple of ends are going to be featuring in the highlights later on. That was another disaster for the Danish lead. Just seems to have lost her confidence at the moment. And just until the Danes find these lead stones in the right positions, it really gives the Germans a big advantage to dictate the ends. And that's exactly what they've maximised here. A really nice corner guard there from Lisa Ruch.
So over on sheet C, Estonia taking on Finland, the winless Estonians. Looking to try and get on the board.
Yeah, Estonia just returning to the A group this year.
And it would be a steal of 1 point to Finland. So maybe both leads just struggling a little bit. This one just creeping over the hog line. So I do expect to see a little bit more play in this end. A few more come arounds from Denmark.
Oh, absolutely. I think the Danes are just going to try and take the bull by the horns here and just try and dictate the play a little bit more. That's not what they've been able to do in the first couple of ends. So a really nice draw there from Shanna Ellegard.
Yeah, you see that one was really tucked right in behind the guards. Maybe just trying to drive the guards off. Just doesn't make the run back on the yellow in the forefoot. It does open things up.
Yeah, and quite a nice position here for the Danes. With that super draw from Ellegard, he got a chance to double guard in the centre line. And unless Germany can find a good double takeout at some point here, it's going to be difficult for the Germans to score.
That's a nicely played guard by Ellegard. So, Sweden, Czech Republic, and Anna Hasselberg sitting 2 against, needing to draw fully forefoot for a single point. Sweden really can't really afford to drop too many more. Only a single win so far. They're trying to catch an edge of the yellow. She does, and rolls down in for the 1, and they take the lead after 2 ends. Back to our feature game though. Denmark got one tucked in behind that centre guard. They'll just look to throw another guard on this.
Yeah, and Germany must have been pretty close to making that double again. They're just stacking those stones over there on the right-hand side of the sheet. Riesdahl drifting down into the house here, and a much better chance here to remove those 2 yellow stones. You see, wide open, this yellow at the top of the 8-foot. A nose hit double required here.
This one's looking a little high at the moment. And doesn't quite make the double. but does roll one in behind the corner guard, so there might be an opportunity later on in the end to force a 2 out of this for Germany. Does manage to block the hole with this one. A little bit shorter. I think we'll just see Germany go after the double again.
Well, one thing's for sure, the Germans should have a pretty good idea of the path on this line. This will be the fourth attempt, I think, trying to make this double.
So just looking to drive yellow onto yellow. Doesn't quite manage to make the double or spin the red down in.
Yeah, and they've actually blocked one of their angled raises on those red stones. Might have been required for Andrea's last stone.
Yeah, just been looking for this one 3 or 4 feet short of the house, I think. Lennon Nielsen for Denmark. That's pretty nice there. Again, just going to attempt to run back. Like you said, Logan, there's no real angle raise on the outside reds.
No, they might be able to pick out some sort of a combination in there, but certainly not straightforward. I think I'm right in saying that all of these run-back attempts have been missed on the high side, so see if Andrea gets a little bit closer. Certainly gave that one a bit of a launch. Well, again, just a couple of inches high of target.
Yeah, so Denmark now just going to throw a guard and hope for a steal.
Yeah, it's amazing the difference it makes when your front end will make a really good draw, how it can completely dictate the end, and that's all Denmark have had to do in this end, is continually throw a guard and protect this shot stone at the top of the forefoot played by Shanna Ellegaard.
I don't want to go too far up with this one.
Well, just over curling a fraction and quite a bit longer, so maybe for the first time Germany might have a chance to go after that Yellowstone.
Yeah, what sort of weight would you throw at this one, Logan?
Well, I'm just going to see the reaction here of Lena. I think she knows that she's left it there. Well, it's not a gimme. But yeah, I think a kind of a soft weight take out, just a hack weight, enough to push it through is the shot here for Andrea.
Dass der direkt geht. Wenn ich vorne knapp vorbeikomme. Geht auch. Also ich denke schon, dass der gehen müsste. Kann man versuchen. Weil der ist halt schon.
Yeah, I think it's there on the out turn, down the right hand side, tight to the yellow. Push it through, but
Also normal, wenn ich vorne ganz knapp vorbeikomme, müsste der gehen.
I think they're actually looking. No, they're calling the ice around for hack weight, so that's what they're trying to do, just push the yellow through. So this will be the final stone of the third end for Team Germany and Andrea Schopp. Monica Wagner there just holding the brush. So sweepers on this one pretty early. This one's beginning to curl hard now. Have they done enough to get it past? Just catches the top guard, and it's going to be a steal of 1 point to Denmark. Denmark extending the lead to 2 after 3 ends.
Yeah, and a much better end there from Lena Nielsen and her troops.
Yep.
So there we see the scoreline between Germany and Denmark. Denmark leading 2-0 after 3 ends. Germany do have that last stone advantage, so
well, hopefully we're going to see Charlotte Clemenson using her sweepers a little bit better than she has done in the last 2 ends. Good to see the brushes down.
yeah, you would have thought they would have thrown this one top of the forefoot. But maybe just struggling to find their weight this morning. Germany maybe just going to try and come around this.
Du wolltest 3 und 5, oder? Ja.
It does slip back T though.
Well, 2 singles for Denmark in the first 3 ends, giving them this 2-0 lead.
So Charlotte Clemenson, 82% so far. Struggled a little bit in this game.
Yeah, certainly hasn't found the form she's had over the first few games. Seems to be starting to get it together now, though, having a good 4th end. And for me, doing a much better job this time of erring on the correct side, using the sweepers, keeping your stones in front of the tee line in the usable position for your team. Doesn't make the perfect shot, but for me, it's about knowing where to miss, and that's just a few feet short and still in a strong position for the Danes.
So 72% for Lisa. New experience for Lisa here at the European Championships. This is our first international tournament. Makes a nice draw in behind, maybe just showing enough so there's a double there, but I think Denmark will just elect to play the tap. Jenna Ellegaard also playing pretty steady, 80%. Simon just comes down and rolls off the red's back of the forefoot, but leaves a nice pocket now. Germany can get one right down and on top of this. They're going to look good for maybe picking up a 2 or 3 here in this fourth end.
Yeah, maybe just a couple of feet too much weight there from Danish second. Just hanging it a little bit wider.
So Kirsten not had our best tournament so far, only at 69%. This one looks quite nice though, just needs to block the gap. Probably would have preferred to have been right down into the forefoot area as we take a look over on sheet E. Scotland taking on Switzerland. Scotland leading by 2 shots.
Yeah, I think Benja Felcher just drawing to try and score 2 here. Already lying shot stone. That one on the tee line.
Yeah, that one's going to pull up in time. Looks pretty good. So that game all square after 3 ends. So Lena Nielsen, chance to now freeze that pocket herself. The Super's going to town in this one. And they've passed the top red. Have they got enough weight? And just pulls up short, but it's in a nice position there. Germany can't really remove it.
Yeah, and all the while as well, Denmark are starting to shrink that scoring area for Germany. This one pretty much fully in the forefoot. That would need to be out-counted by Germany to get another point on the board. Germany just need to be a little bit careful here. There's getting sucked in around the centre, and a few yellow stones starting to pop up in useful positions. Any sort of an errant stone might leave a double takeout, and then it'd be really difficult to see how Germany would be able to score here in this fourth end.
Selecting to come down on the out turn this time. And this one looks quite nice. Just catches the top yellow though. And looking at that, there might actually be a double on the reds.
Well, that stone just played by the Germans is definitely the big threat for the Danes at the moment. Very easily tapped in there to score another shot. So they can either play a control weight takeout and try and put their yellow stone in a tappable position, or they could go after a double.
I'm not sure I'm in agreement with this call, Logan.
No, that wasn't one of the options. I mean, at least Denmark have identified that stone is in a threatening position. But for me, maybe a slightly more aggressive call would be to play a soft weight takeout and leave your stone in a tappable position. Stephanie Riesdahl playing 72 for the week so far. Just needs to bring that up a little bit if Denmark are going to contend for the playoffs again this week.
So just over curled into the guard.
I think that tap will still be available for the Germans, and actually quite a nice wall of yellow stones to bounce off if they do choose to play that. Quite a lot of room for error. The key here will be where the actual throw-in stone ends up. It's quite easy to tap that red stone into the 4-foot and lie too, but what you don't want to do is spin your shooter stone open and leave an easy kind of in and off takeout with the next Danish stone.
So Monica Wagner, 63%. Will need to really up that stat if they're going to feature in the playoffs.
Yeah, maybe just taking some time to readjust to playing on the international scene.
Just taps that one a little bit too far.
It was actually a really nice weight for that shot from Monica Wagner, but just hitting it a fraction too thick.
Denmark's got a few options here. Not surprised that they're happy for Germany to be sitting one.
Well, I think the Irish throw the guard on this side like they've called. Or they could come around on the other side of the sheet and try and make a little bump on that yellow second shot stone. Also much better guard this time from Stephanie Riesdahl. So, bit of a dilemma here for Germany. How do they get in there to score a second one?
Okay.
So looking for a double tap on this one, maybe yellow-red down into the 4-foot.
Okay.
Yeah, I can't see too many better options without probably giving Denmark a much better chance of removing that red stone on the button. So
Yeah.
difficult shot being called here.
So Monica being on for the double tap.
Well, she probably needs a little bit more weight than the last one. Does have two 20-kilo stones to move with this one rather than just the one.
Got enough of the. She's done enough.
Just needs to go another couple of inches. Great effort there by Monica Wagner.
Tick zu langsam.
You see this one coming down on the out turn, just pushes the yellow onto the red, and the red just pulls up short to set third shot. Nearly so perfect.
Well, I think Denmark can probably have a free go at this this yellow stone that's lying in second shot position at the moment. They might be able to just come around and chip it over. And actually, even if they were a little bit tight and they rubbed that red guard off, they'd still be in reasonably good shape for their last stone.
Still got to be careful if they do elect to come down and tap the yellow in, they might leave a nice double in off. So, like you say, they've got an error on the right side.
Stopper den kort, så vidt. Ja. Enten skal den rejse, sådan, så den der kommer ind lige på, så hun ikke kan se den der. Alternativet hvis den er langt, så det skal jeg kommer væk fra den. Ja, så herover. Den skal så langt væk, så hun ikke kan støtte ind. Ja. Der ligger mange måder derinde.
I think you probably want to margin on the kind of heavier side for this shot, and trying to make this tap. It's very unlikely you can hit it too thin with enough speed to squeeze it between those two red stones in the 4-foot. But what you do want to avoid is coming down and bouncing off this yellow and leaving a double, like you said, Kenny. So really important that the shooter gets out of the way here.
Yeah, Lennon Nielsen 75% so far. So let's take a look at the split time on this. I think we're probably looking for something in and around the 13.5 because she's playing a little tap at it.
Well, the supers think it's heavy, so maybe expect to see something sub 13 here.
Yeah, so weight was about right. Just threw it a little bit high. Just didn't come back. And we've seen that quite a lot out wide on this sheet. That once you put the stones up the hill, they don't tend to come back at all.
Well, I think Germany just need to take that option away from Lena Nielsen now. I think even if they make a good tap on the right-hand side of your picture, then Lena Nielsen's still going to have an option on this yellow, so maybe take that shot away from the Danes.
Yeah, she wouldn't actually see too much of that yellow that's top of the 12-foot. This is a really hard shot.
Yeah, it is a tough shot, and the thing is that this could go quite wrong. I think for Germany, they could make better options for Denmark on the other side of the sheet if they just push the Yellowstone in the centre line out into the open. Well, Andrea Schott playing 68% for the week so far. Definitely going to need to raise that bar if Germany want to compete at the end of the week.
So just catches that one on the tight side and doesn't really do anything at all.
Well, I don't know if they just rumbled that red guard just over a little bit. It might make that tap that Lena Nielsen tried to play a little bit harder.
Yeah, Germany, the red stones, Denmark, the yellow. Germany sitting one.
igen.
Jeg kommer lidt af. Nu laver den og stand forkert, så har den sidevending igennem hullet, ikke?
Ja. Jeg synes, vi
So
skal
I think
ligge
the tap's still there, but they're just electing to give up one here. Logan, do you agree with this one?
I think so. I think the easiest shot for Germany to score 2 is to play the tap on that yellow stone in the front of the 12-foot circle onto the red at the top of the 4 and put one in there. I don't know if the Germans were feeling a little bit adventurous. There might be a pick for 3 in there. They could try and just squeeze one past the guards on the right-hand side of the centre line and try and chip the yellow through along the T-line. But very risky in my book.
It is risky, but it could actually be a chip for 4. You might be able to double the back yellows as well.
They could play it in such a way that it's not too much risk. I mean, there might even be a hit and roll off the yellow behind the T-line. So first things first, Lena Nielsen's to make this guard, and we'll see how adventurous Andrea feels today. I do think it's important that you identify these options. Like when you're Denmark in this position, do you think that they've seen that could be a possibility? Perhaps not. So now Andrea's going to have a look at it. There's no doubt it would be a big ask to make that shot, but playing against the world's best teams, you have to expect that they might get pretty close to making these shots every once in a while.
So lots of stones in play this end, Logan.
Yeah, all 15, I believe. None have gone through the back so far. Definitely a big turnaround from the first couple of ends. The team's obviously feeling a bit more relaxed and wanting to be a bit more adventurous and try and generate some big scores.
Vielleicht einfacher als durchs Loch durch. Dann spielt man so, muss ihn so haben.
So I'm not really quite sure what the call is here, Logan.
Bisschen mehr! Mehr!
Trying to drive, I think the centre yellow guard on the right-hand side of the centre line back onto something just to move things. I don't expect to see this at big weight, just at maybe bat ring. Final stone for Andrea Schopp here in the 4th. Looking to move things around. Must be pretty close. Has she done enough? If that sits down, that's a great shot. And makes it for 2.
That's an outrageous tap from Andrea Schopp. Rolling back the years with that one.
Yeah, that's a great shot. Well played, perfect weight.
Oh, there's no question. The Danes did have chances there to really turn up the heat on Germany, and just couldn't quite squeeze their Yellowstone onto the button. So great execution there by Andrea. Clinical stuff, and gets to deuce. Germany 2, Denmark 2.
into the fifth end. And we're bringing you coverage of the Gruyère European Curling Championships 2014 from Champéry, Switzerland. Germany taking on Denmark. Score all tied at 2 each.
Yeah, and I'm not too sure that's the right decision going into the rings. You just scored 2, you want to keep your momentum going, and especially in the odd end, you don't really want to give the opposition the chance to just run the end through and take the hammer into the even end. So no, we saw all 16 stones in play in the last end. That's one removed already in this one. I think you're going to see a big contrast in this fifth end to the one we just saw.
Yeah, so a tidy end now. Don't really expect to see much happening in this end. So just again looking for a nose hit in this back red. So over on sheet B, it's Sweden 2 up on the Czech Republic. Linda Klimova for Czech Republic, looking to try and draw in. Swoopers really going to town in this one. And this one just over curling, pulling up short, and it looks like a steal of 4 for Anna Hasselberg in Sweden. So things not going right for Czech Republic this morning.
Well, but it's looking like a good bounce back for the Swedes after a bit of a disaster last night against Russia.
So that one just hitting, rolling out of play. So chance now for Germany just to try and find their draw weight.
I just wonder if this is a little bit of kind of old school thinking from Andrea. She's maybe not as aware as some of the younger teams coming through of this, of some of the new strategies we've come to in the sport. There's far more thinking towards controlling the scoreboard and trying to have the last stone advantage in the even ends, so that you will have the last stone at the end of the game. Especially important when it's a really close game. Andrea just seems quite happy just to run with it at the moment, keep it tight, and wait for a better opportunity, really. I think that's her kind of strategy, is picking the right moments, whereas the younger team's strategy is about trying to control the scoreboard and score in the right ends.
Yeah, so quite a tidy end here in the fifth. So over on sheet C, Estonia, Finland. Finland really going well this week, yet to be toppled from Puustinen, just over curling, but it was a single point for Finland. So they now lead 2-1 after 4 ends.
Yeah, Finland, the surprise package of the week so far, 3-0, straight up from the Bs last year. And actually Estonia, the other team who came up from the B division, so Finland having a slightly nicer time of it than Estonia though this week.
Yeah, back with our feature game though. Germany 2, Denmark 2 in the 5th end. Just 1 stone in play.
Yeah, actually, can I just come back to the Estonia-Finland? It's interesting to see Finland doing so well coming straight up from the B group. It's not really something you would expect to see in the men's game, and maybe just shows just how much closer together the women's teams are in comparison to the men's teams. The level of ability and experience you wouldn't expect to see a team coming up from the B group. And well, I'm going to say Thomas Ulsrud, but of course he lost to Italy, who came up last year. So I do think the kind of level of ability is much closer together in the women's game than it is in the guys generally. You will get the odd shock result though in either.
Yeah, so quite a clean end here. Andreas Schopp making a nice hit on the nose. So Lennon Nielsen just looked to replace it with the yellow. Again, this is quite far out, and we've seen these stones hang just out wide, and again that one's on the high side. So we'll just see Andreas Schopp just throw this one in.
Well, the Supers are having to go coast to coast on this one to get it into the paint. And it looks like they've managed to do so. Great sweeping by the young German front end.
Yeah, so we'll just see the half-stone pill from Lennon Nielsen. I might have been tempted to throw this one out wide to the wing. We've seen stones hanging a little bit out wide. As you see Lennon Nielsen playing the final stone of the 5th end just before the break. And this one's curling hard. And faces that one, and it's a big mistake, and it will be a single point to Denmark. And they take the lead 3-2 after 5 ends. So into the 5th end break, Denmark leading 3-2. Teams having a quick discussion with their coach. I'll review the highlights. 2nd end. Lennon Nielsen looking to drive the yellow back and blank. And this one just hung really high, and it was a single point for Denmark. third end. Andrea Schwab trying to hack way round the long centre guard. Sweepers were on this one really early, just over curled, catches the centre, and it was a steal of 1 point and a 2-0 lead. And the fourth end, Andrea Schwab looking to drive a yellow-yellow-red combination for 2 points. This one played absolutely perfectly. Yellow, red into the 4-foot 4-2 and to tie the game at 2 each after 4 ends. But after 5, it's Denmark who lead 3-2. Latvia, Russia. Russia leading 6-0. And Statsasuna for Latvia, trying to draw one into the 4-foot. Russia got one in, right in behind. Supers again on this one early. This one looks as if it's going to over curl. Latvia still to get on the board. They trail 7-0. Sweden, Czech Republic. Sweden leading 6-0. Linda Klimova looking to try and get on the board. Things not going her way this morning. Just throwing this one down into the 4-foot. And a single point at this stage really isn't going to benefit you much. But they do get on the board and they trail 6-1 at the break. So there we see the scores. The only other game out there is Scotland-Switzerland. Scotland leading 3-2. But that's our feature game. Germany trailing 3-2 over Denmark.
Ja, der eine ist ja viel langsamer wie der Zweier. Also wirklich, wirklich krass langsamer. Und da hat sie noch ein bisschen Mühe.
Wobei, dann hat sie auch noch die andere Seite erwischt.
Ja, genau.
Wobei ich halt auch mit Deinstein Probleme, weil ich würde sagen, der reicht locker, aber der bleibt auch stehen. Also
Meine
die
Pappen,
die laufen
Ja,
nicht
ja.
aus.
Pappen, genau.
Ja,
Das tut
meine
der
Pappen,
Dreier
ja,
und der
stimmt.
Fünfer auch. Nur der Fünfer nicht ganz so wie der Dreier.
Rotation seat. Det er din outhand, ja. Men det ser bare ud som om, at dine sten, de dykker bare lige 1 meter eller 2 før resten. Okay. Men fino, bambino.
So the stats for both teams pretty even. Denmark with that stone point in the second end.
Yeah, one of the noticeable stats there for me was the German draw is only 61% against the Danish 76, so could well be the reason that Denmark are leading at the moment, but just one shot in it after that mistake in the 5th end from Lena Nilsson.
So you're watching live coverage of the Gruyère European Curling Championships 2014, coming to you live from the Le Palladium, Champéry, Switzerland. I'm Kenny Edwards and I'm joined by Logan Gray for this 4th draw in the women's competition.
Yeah, we've seen a couple of interesting ends, Kenny. The 4th end now is certainly action-packed, all 16 stones in play in that end. Well, hopefully we're going to see more of that in the second half here.
So Lisa, for Germany, 85%.
Yeah, good shooting from the German lead. It's the kind of level that we expect from the players in the lead position, kind of looking for at least mid-80s these days.
That one's not what was asked for. That was asked. They asked for a corner guard with that one. That's just slipped a little bit too far into the house. And Charlotte Clemenson, 70% in this game.
Well, I think she has started to find her feet in the last couple of ends, but certainly made a bit of a shaky start to the game. Some nice setup play here in the 6th end by Charlotte, though.
Germany now just electing to play the hit on the yellows. Might have been tempted early on in this just to come along and freeze that one rather than play the hit.
Yeah, or try again for that that corner guard.
So, over on sheet C, Estonia taking on Finland. See that yellow stone that's back of the 1 foot. Estonia looking to try and tie the game up. Mulder for Estonia. She tapped this one far enough. Might have done enough now. Very tight, but it is a single point for Finland. Are they going to put the measure on it? I think they maybe are.
Yeah, we'll get back to you on that one. They're going to have to spend some time measuring that. And meanwhile, back on sheet D, Kirsten Ruch find the takeout. Chance to make a double here after Denmark hit and roll towards the centre line.
Yeah, just catches the second one, but keeps a good shooter in front of the centre line.
Der zweite schon, der nicht geklappt hat.
Shanna Ellegaard, 82%. I would say Denmark's best performer so far today.
Yeah, she's been pretty solid. Slight mistake there though, erred on the professional side though, made sure she didn't drive the red back onto the yellow in the 4 foot. As we take a look back at sheet C, and it is confirmed it is 1 point to Finland. So they now lead 3-1. Back with our feature game. This one way off the mark.
I don't think Kirsten can quite believe that, and I can tell you that 68% will drop after that stone.
Stephanie Risdal, 70% as well. Had a couple of mistakes early on in the game. Certainly improved as the games went on.
Yeah, I think we've seen that from the Danish team. Just the two younger players that lead in third, they've made a slow start to the game, but once they've got into their groove, they've started to pick things up a bit.
Yeah, just noses that one. So, nice opportunity now. I'd probably could look to hit and roll to the wing with this. Try and leave, not leave a double. This one looks pretty high and hard though. And that one's going to struggle to sit around. As it just spun back in.
Doesn't look so from this angle. Maybe just out by an inch, and now Germany will have the chance to blank here in 6. Well, Monica hits and rolls out, and meanwhile, just next door on sheet E, Scotland, Switzerland.
Yeah, Bina Filcher looking to draw the forefoot for a single point. I think Sweeper's really going hard on this one. And have they done enough? Scotland sitting one. And that one pulls up short, so it'll be a steal of one. Scotland extend their lead to 4-2 at the break over Switzerland.
Well, Kenny, you and I might not have too much experience of this, but it must be pretty heartbreaking as a sweeper sweeping the full length of the ice to see the stone coming up a foot short and realising your efforts were for nothing.
Yeah, Andrea Schopp only 60%, but played some great shots within that 60%.
Well, the final stone in the 4th end certainly springs to mind. That was a fantastic shot. Well, it'll be interesting to see if Andrea makes a run for the seniors next year.
Yeah, I think she's got maybe one season to go, and then she's qualifies for the senior event.
Just a fantastic competitor. I'm sure she won't turn that down. Here's Lena Nielsen. Slightly better than Andrea, but still really not being on her best form today.
Yeah, so quite a tidy end here in the 6th. Germany just going to look to hit and run. It's Andrea Schopp's final stone. And sweepers, have they done enough? I don't know, have they? They just have. And it looks like it will be a blank end as we head into the 7th. So Germany just hanging on in there, making it difficult for Denmark to get away from them. Denmark to get us underway in the 7th end. So this will be probably thrown up tight a little. I don't think they'll throw this one top of the forefoot.
No, well, they're certainly praying for it to stop. Just drifts into the ring, so a mistake there. And this is kind of what I was talking about earlier on. Is Andrea's, I don't think she's quite caught on to this strategy that a lot of the younger teams are using these days. Any of the younger teams, I would think, in this position, one down, you put the hammer in the 7th end, they go into the rings, then you would hit this and try and run the hammer into the 8th end. Scoring even ends, that's generally what we try and do, but Andrea just sees this as a chance to go and try and score another 2.
Charlotte Clemenson. I think probably just want this one tight to the house rather than right in on top. Just over curled. If you're going to throw that shot, you've got to probably cover the other side. But Andrea Shop going around the corner. Just going to ignore that yellow top 12.
Yeah, an aggressive call here by Andrea. At some point, they're going to have to try and tidy up the centre of the sheet, though. Well, this could be quite interesting in a minute, just to see what Denmark want to do if this is hidden. They could really push to go around the centre.
Yeah, over on sheet B, handshakes. Sweden 8-1 winners over Czech Republic. So Sweden now on 2 wins. Czech Republic 0-4. So are they electing to peel the corner or go around to try and take the back shot stone?
Not really too sure. I don't know if they're just trying to hit and roll off this corner guard towards the centre line. That's not too bad a result. I would have quite liked to see them go around the centres there and really turn up the heat on Germany. A good draw and could have really put some pressure on. You've got to think giving up a 2 here is not the worst thing in the world for Denmark. To have hammer in the 8th end, you're 1 down. But even better, yeah, if they managed to force the 1, they would be in great shape for the last 3 ends. So that's what their game plan is.
Yeah, over on sheet E though, Switzerland facing 4 Scottish stones. And Felcher for Switzerland looking to be fully forefoot. Super's backing off this one. Is it going to pull up in time? I think it is. A nicely made shot. So that one now 4-3 in Scotland's favour. Scotland in control over on sheet E. Both teams in 2-1. Back with a feature game between Denmark and Germany. Denmark just not making the hit and roll in behind. Would you be possibly tempted to throw the in-turn draw here, Logan?
Well, I think my game plan would be different to Andrea's here completely, and I would be just trying to clean things up and try and get a blank end out of this. So I think I'd be quite tempted to make a take out of some sort. Whether this one's the right one or not, yeah, it was probably an okay call, but I know Andrea's trying to probably score 2 here, whereas I'm trying to blank the end and take the hammer into the 8th end. So. Danish bench there just trying to get a better look at stones at the other end. Quite common to see people, or especially the players, the alternates, the coaches using the binoculars from the bench quite often, not just to watch the far end of the ice, but also to watch the other sheets. And quite often there's a little bit of a kind of a spy mission going on out there, trying to gather intelligence on other sets of stones and what orders the other teams are playing them in, so they can use them in the right order going forward. The stones aren't all the same. Some do run a little bit differently to others. Oh, Monica Wagner trying to make this double. Just the one.
Yeah, hits and rolls to the face now, so Germany might have actually manufactured quite a nice end out of this. That corner guard that's in play might come into play a little bit later, and that's why I think Lena Nielsen's electing to maybe play the draw.
Well, just going back to what I was saying earlier, we're getting to the business end of the game. It's really important you have a clear game plan for each end, and this call backs up what I was saying about Lena. She's really trying hard to force Germany to score 1 here in the 7th end, so Denmark can have the hammer in the 8th.
And this one needs to take a seat though. And it's just going to slip a little bit too far. And went right through.
Well, all of a sudden, Germany with a chance to lie too.
Yeah, just look to run the red back onto the yellow. And great opportunity to possibly take the lead in this game. And another mistake though. Both teams really struggling here in the 7th.
Yeah, really has been a catalogue of errors. Well, it's really the same shot again, I would think, here for Denmark. That doesn't really change things up too much.
Not sure what the call was. Have they elected to play the draw again, or?
Yeah, absolutely. They're going to draw on the outturn here, Kenny. Could also be an option to come in the other handle. You see a lot of teams do that if they knew the ice conditions. maybe slightly less chance of leaving a double takeout for Germany. And you come up a little bit short and leave half a stone exposed behind the centre guard, then there could be a double for Germany. So sweepers really need to make sure they get this down into the forefoot.
Pretty nice spot there though.
Well, I think they've only just got that far enough. A few inches shorter and there could well be that double.
Yeah, looking at there, it just about might be there. So Andrea Schopp just going to look to try and come around this tight yellow guard, push the yellow through the house that's on the top of the floor and roll to the left-hand side. This one looks pretty nice. Just didn't have the weight though, but pushes them together.
Well, it does look like Lena can see all of this stone from the hack. Shouldn't be too much of a problem getting rid of that red stone, but the difficulty here is keeping your yellow stone at the edge of the 8 foot in a second shot position. And also not setting up a double takeout.
Yeah, quite a bit quite careful here, Denmark. It's a really nice shot from Andrea Schopp. Just catches the half yellow and makes it difficult to remove and keep the yellow as well.
Yeah, I think we need just a quiet weight here, just to push it through.
So have they got it past the top red? And he just pushed that yellow on the left too far. And it looks like Andrea Schopp will just have a straightforward nose hit for 2.
Well, I don't think they really went about that shot in the right way. I think it was the correct call. Maybe need to throw a little bit less weight, and they need to try harder to get to the nose of that stone to prevent that yellow stone from spinning out. They really had to make sure they lay 2 after that shot. So, after all that, the previous 15 stones, comes down to Andrea Schopp's final stone to get her 2 that she's been looking for all end. Certainly a much easier takeout than her first stone of the end.
So they're going to have to go hard. This one's curling all the way down. They do enough though. That's a relatively simple 2 for Germany. They now lead for the first time, 4-3 over Denmark. So final stop, shot from Andre Schopp. Just a straightforward nose hit for 2. You're watching coverage of Denmark versus Germany from the Gruyère European Curling Championships 2014 in Champéry, Switzerland, where the score is Germany 4, Denmark 3. I'm Ken Edwards, and I'm joined by Logan Gray. And what do you think the tactics will be here in the 8th end, Logan?
Well, I know Denmark are going to be pushing hard to try and score their 2, and they've been given an absolute gift of a start to the end here, as one of the young German players, Lisa, throws her first stone through the house. So maybe looking for that one at the top of the forefoot. So Denmark, they're going to use corner guards and try and generate a multiple score here in the 8th end. However, they will want to make sure that they score 1 worst case scenario. And Germany, you would have thought, will be trying to keep it pretty clean, pretty blank end would be the best option for them, I would say. They're certainly not going to push hard for a steal at this point. Well, again, another heavy one, and the pendulum swings back towards Germany.
There we see the stats. Pretty even. I think they're maybe on a little bit on the high side.
Well, I've certainly seen a few misses from both leads. This one's going to hit and roll out of the rings, and I think we'll see Denmark call for the corner guard again. And
so over on sheet A, Russia pick up another win over Latvia, 10-2 after 7 ends. Convincing win for Anna Sidrova and her team.
Yeah, and they go on undefeated to 4 wins and no losses. Well, Denmark just didn't manage to utilize the free guard zone here. Of course, the lead stones, if they're in that area out in front of the house, can't be removed from play. But now that is the second player's shots, they can remove it. So I think we'll see Germany push on for this blank.
Yeah, just look to peel that corner guard off. Give Denmark nowhere to hide.
Well, they're just waiting for this one to curl. Has it done enough? It has.
Yeah, Denmark will just continue through the corner and hope for a mistake. Been pretty accurate with their shot play in this game, and that no different. As you see, that's how the seconds compare. Ellegaard out shooting her opposition or opposing number. Do make the hit on the corner guard, but they roll to the other side. So will Denmark use this? I think they will.
Yeah, and I'm sure Andrea is probably playing our players to their strengths, but It's a much more makeable shot hitting the outside of these stones. You've got a much shorter distance to roll to get your shooter stone out of play when you play on the outside of the guards. There's Andrea's calling on the inside of that corner guard, and so that longer distance to roll, which has left the corner guard for Denmark to come around.
And this one looks as if it's just been played a little high. And drifts to the back ring, and it will be wide open. Monica Wagner for Germany. To just try and probably hit on the nose with this yellow at the back. That's a nice controlling shot. Means that if they go around the corner, they've got to obviously out-count that red stone at the back ring.
Du kan bare blive tvunget til din ene på den måde, vil vi det? Det skal bare være op, og det skal du være okay med.
So there's the stats. Both mid-60s.
Yeah, we're really looking for the number to be up around 80, if not above these days. The standard getting higher and higher as the sport becomes more and more professionalized.
And this one looks pretty nice for line. So it does get in behind. Again, Monica Wagner been asked for a takeout. So here we see Scotland leading by 1 over Switzerland. Eve Muirhead looking for a tap back 4-2 here in the 7th end. And that one played perfectly. Scotland pick up 2 and extend their lead to 3. 6-3 after 7 ends. So Scotland looking in good shape to pick up another win over on sheet E.
Yeah, the battle of the last 2 world champions, that one. 2013 against 2014.
Yeah, so that one from Denmark just slipping to the back ring.
Yeah, Stephanie's just struggled to find her weight so far today.
You see the skip numbers. Andrea Schopp only 38% on her draws.
No, we said at the start, Kenny, the takeouts are definitely Andrea's strength, and she's showing that today. And draws just not up to scratch.
Wobei ich sehe ihn halt.
So wie ich, oder wie?
Hm? Ja, eher mehr. Soll man abspielen auf meinen Spielstand dann hierher und dann muss man sich allerdings, also der liegt dann da, dann braucht man sich wieder nur drauflegen. Ja. Aber
Det
Yeah, so what do you think the call is here, Logan? Germany don't have last stone. There's a corner guard in play. You don't really want to be coming around the corner guards.
I think it's maybe late enough in the end that she could come around the corner guard. I think the key here is that they lie to. So they could come around the corner guard. They could throw the open side of the rings as well. Maybe throw the edge of the forefoot next to Monica Wagner's brush as well. But I think this is an okay option. You just need to make sure you stay in front of the tee line, maybe around the kind of top 4 depth of the house, and somewhere over towards the corner guard.
Yeah, let's see what split time we get from hog to hog. As we said, we're looking for about 14 and a half seconds.
Vorsicht! Vorsicht! Bis an den hin!
13, so this one will probably go back tee. And makes the freeze on the back yellow. Still a chance for Denmark to make 2 out of this.
Problem var,
Ja, mindre mine kører mere som dine, hvilket jeg måske godt kunne tro, det gør.
så stadig godt med 10, tror jeg.
Okay. Okay. Godt over så på 10. Ned i 7. Le fris.
So Lennon Nielsen just going to try and corner freeze this back red. Probably throw it top 8 foot rather than back 8 foot. This gives you more to play with and makes Germany's next stone a little bit harder. As we said, probably looking for about 14 seconds on the rock clock.
Yeah, definitely a good opportunity here for Denmark. Well, 14 and a half should be somewhere around the top of the forefoot. Great sweeping there by the Danish front end. And even gets a nice little tuck in behind the guard.
Yeah, gets it fully buried. This does make Andrea Schopp's shot a lot harder now. Can't afford to slip past the yellow stone on the tee line.
Well, I reckon Andrea maybe could just see a piece of this yellow and might just try and get it out of there. Certainly taking a good foot less ice, maybe a foot and a half less ice than the last one, so just maybe throwing out a kind of a hack weight here.
Sweepers on this one early. It's certainly not hanging around with the weight. This one is pulling really hard. Have they got it past the guard? Feathers the guard. Takes the back one as well. So looking at that, doesn't look as if there's a shot for 3. So straightforward draw for 2 for Lena Nielsen to take the lead once again. So a great draw from Lena Nielsen has set up the opportunity for 2.
Yeah, and Kenny, it's a game of inches, just shown there by that one, just the faintest of flicks on that guard. Inch slightly wider, makes that takeout, and Lena Nielsen is drawing for 1. And now she's got a great chance just to draw the 8 foot and put a 2 on the board and take control of this game once more.
So final stone of the 8th end. Denmark looking to score 2.
Kom her.
retning. Kom med der. Kig lige op. Kig lige op. Kom med der. Super, super retning. Kom med ret meget der.
And this one gliding down into the 8 foot. And it will be a score of 2, and the score now 5-4 in Denmark's favour.
Super tøser. Igen. Fokus på de her dragfarter. Nu har vi altså kørt langt for rigtig mange. Ja, det er der simpelthen ikke plads til nu.
Denmark probably the happier of the two now. They lead by 1. Germany do have that all-important last stone. So there you see the score, 5-4, Denmark lead. So into the 9th then, Logan, what would the strategy be for Germany to try and finish this game off?
Well, there's a couple of ways they could kind of go about this. They could push hard in the 9th end and try and put a 2 on the board. It's a risky tactic though. If they were ever to be forced to only score 1, then they could find themselves in trouble. But you would expect them to try and blank here in the 9th end and take the last stone into 10. Definitely the safer strategy. So we're seeing Denmark throwing up this double centre guard. They're going to really push hard to try and force Germany to only score 1 here. Even if they give up 2, it's probably not that bad a position to be in. So you're going to see them be much more aggressive, I would suggest, than the Germans here in the 9th end.
Yeah, that red stone's back of the 1 foot though. It's not really where you want to be. Denmark just freeze that one right in on top. I think that's what they've done as well. That's a perfect shot. So I like them to come round at the end turn, so around the high side of this guard. But again, we'll take a look at sheet E. Scotland 6-3 ahead of Switzerland. And Bina Felcher for Switzerland having to draw fully 8 foot against 2 here in the 8th end. And sweepers look as if they're happy with it, just keeping it clean. And this one's going to pull up on the tee line. It will be a score of 1. And Scotland now lead 6-4 in the 9th end. And they'll look to close that game out convincingly. They have last stone advantage. But back with a feature game between Denmark and Germany. Denmark leading 5-4. So Jana Ellegaard plays the takeout on that red German stone, but leaves a nice pocket. So more takeout play from Germany. This one curling hard and even over curls and catches the one on the button. Moves the red. So Kirsten not really happy with that one. See this one just passes the top guard. Misses the yellow on the left, catches the one on the right. Only good thing about that shot, it's removed the backing. So Denmark looking pretty strong now. If Ellegaard can draw one right into the top of the 8 foot. That's a nice shot there. Maybe a little bit too far. On sheet C though, Estonia trailing Finland 6-1.
Yeah, Finland looking good to continue undefeated this week in their quest for the playoffs.
So Malamilda trying to draw one in and takes a little catch off the top red, but down into the 4 foot for the single. Now they trail 6-2 after 7 ends.
Okay.
Well, Germany are just going to try and start cleaning this up a little bit. I would quite like to blank here in the 9th end. Denmark lying 2 at this point.
Stephanie Risdell just looking to hit and roll, but doesn't quite make it. So if you're Germany now, Logan, what's the game plan here in the 9th?
Well, I think the game plan is still to try and blank the end. If you take 2, then fair enough. But what you don't want to do is to get forced to score 1. That's the one thing that can't really happen in this end from a German perspective. So I think they'll continue to try and tidy things up. This looks like the right shot to me. Just try and squeeze some of these yellows away from the button. They certainly don't want to lose a steal here in this 9th end, that's for sure.
So nice takeout from Monica Wagner, hits and rolls in behind the centre.
Yeah, that was a super shot. And that definitely changes the end.
Har et lille bitte hjørne herovre, men garden er meget, meget lang. Jeg synes næsten, vi bliver nødt til at gå efter den.
The yellow guard is a very long guard. There's certainly a
Kan I lide den?
possibility of being able to come around it and make a play on that red.
Tak.
Certainly be a very long run back attempt.
Yeah, so probably just playing hack weight in this. Caught the centre guard. Can't really afford to do that.
Okay, Steph.
No, you would think that Germany will continue just to tidy things up here and get rid of the yellow stones.
Yeah, both teams have sort of struggled in this game, haven't they? They've not really performed to what we would expect.
Yeah, neither team's really kind of taken the game by the scruff of the neck. Any team they've had a chance, they've not been clinical and converted it. So it's going to go right down to the wire here, that's for sure.
So Monica just looking to hit and roll in behind that corner yellow. And that's a great shot. Germany beginning to apply a bit of pressure now.
Jeg kan godt lide den på midten. Denne her? Ja. Eventuelt lidt lille rulle den vej. Det er ikke meget, vi kan rulle. Nej. Men der så efterlader du dobbelen til hende. Det er derfor, jeg gerne vil have et lille rulle. Ja, men så nu ikke kan rulle, Ginny.
Altså, jeg kan godt se, hvad hun mener. Så skal du rulle den anden vej.
Well, Kenny, my Danish is a bit rusty, but I believe the worry here is if they make a play on the stone at the top of the forefoot here is that they set up a double for Germany to lie 3. So I think that's maybe why they're considering whether they should make a play on that stone on the right-hand side, just played.
I think Ulrich Schmidt will come down and give them a little bit of advice, but we're going to take a look at Estonia, Finland once more, 8th end.
Yeah,
Finland drawing against 2.
Yeah, this is Sanna Pystinen. Played well so far this week. Really having a big impact here at the Palladium. He needs to find the forefoot here.
Yeah, line's sitting a little bit high at the moment, but the weight's absolutely perfect. Puts that one right on the pin. 7-2 they now lead. They'll look good for the playoffs if they can pick up another win.
De andre vil gerne spille den på midten. Den er jeg bange for efterlader dobbelt til hende. Ja.
Så ruller det over, kan man sige, okay, måske hun skal stadig lave den først, så ligger der også noget til dig, ikke? Det ligger 1-2 nu, der er ikke så mange steg tilbage. Den der er også okay, det er slet ikke det.
Du kan bare bedst lide den der.
Ja, det tænker jeg.
Hvad vej vil du spille den?
Hvad siger du?
Hvad vej vil du spille den? Outhand?
Ja, jeg vil også sige, hvis nu køler over, så
Nu peger du på indhængen.
Ja.
Hvis vi spiller den her vej, ikke?
Ja, kommer lidt ind på det, synes jeg.
Jeg synes bare, den er nemmere at styre herovre, hvor hun kører mere lige.
Så gør det ikke så vigtigt.
Hvad fart?
Det er vigtigt, at den bliver på næsen, så ikke helt for hurtigt.
So Ulrich Schmidt just
Vi var kun spillet 9,5 hele kampen, så er det ikke det, jeg holder fast.
good. He's saying he wants to make a play in this centre one.
Er det vil spille den herfra.
Ja.
Ja.
So I think they'll look to hit and roll in behind the corner themselves. If it does overcurl, they might manage to get the double on the two reds.
Well, you know, even if they hit it on the nose, it's not the easiest angle for a double takeout. Gives them a chance to lie to, and poses the question of Andrea, but just going back a few shots, it was a terrific hit and roll by Monika Wagner that really turned this end on its head for the Germans.
This one's curling hard. Yeah, like you said, Logan, that's a difficult double, but looking at it, it did bounce a little bit to the right. And would you take the double on with this one?
Oh, absolutely, Kenny. I think it's there for the taking. It just squeezed over a little bit away from the centre line and made this double all the more easier. If they hit on the nose or even just check slightly the other way, then it's a much more difficult one.
Yeah, so big shot for Andrea.
Yeah, this is the kind of shot that Andrea really relishes. Oh, they're sweeping at the moment. I'm not really hearing any shouting at the moment. Must be close. Oh, over curls and just the one for the Germans.
Yeah, now it's a difficult call for Denmark. Where do they go to make it hard for Germany? Where would you want to place your stone, Logan?
Well, the worry at the moment is there's too many red stones kind of building up around here, and you don't want to leave a double takeout. The temptation would be to play a takeout and try and minimise the amount of red stones, but I think for me they don't have too much option but to play a draw here and maybe just split the forefoot. They could throw one over to the left-hand side of the forefoot and not leave a double. Forces Germany to score one and gets you that position that you want in the 10th end. You've got the last stone and you've got a tied game.
Yeah, looking at the hitting this high one, I just don't think that's a call at all.
Well, unless you make the perfect rollover in front of it, and the chances are you're probably going to be lying first and fourth. So. I don't think they've even really looked at this this draw to the other side of the forefoot here.
Hvis du laver den her, så har hun dobblen til 3. Og du efterlader en dobbelt, så hun lige har prøvet at spille, så hun har set banen. Så du kan helst rulle. Ja, men bare heller ikke rulle af, vel? Nej, altså rullet alternativet lige på. Ja, 9,5. 9,5. 9,5.
Yeah, so strange call from Lena Nielsen.
Nu får man bare ikke rigtig så meget med drage på nuværende tidspunkt. Nej. Det er svært at lægge den, ikke? Nogle steder. Jo.
So then you see
Kan få lidt mindre?
time clocks.
Ja, ikke så meget.
5 minutes of thinking time left for Denmark. Got to make this one perfectly. He's still probably going to leave a double for Germany for 3.
Well, you certainly don't want to be tight here. Well, hits on the nose, but he's lying third shot, I wonder. So it looks like Denmark 1, Germany 2, possibly Denmark 3. Nope. My apologies. Germany 3 and Denmark 4. My brain just left the building for a minute.
Yeah, I think you should be able to squeeze that one out at Hackwake. Maybe
Well,
just play the nose for 2.
Oh, or you just clean pick it for 2. Certainly having a good look at it. I think they're probably their best shot for a 3 anyways to go after the double. But if you do that and you give up a steal, you're dead. So for me, I quite like the pick to just score 2 is probably their easiest shot.
Wahrscheinlich geht es dann so aus, dass ich dann spiele und wenn ich mal Glück habe, nehmen wir mit nochmal ein.
So timeout called, and Rainer Schopp will make his way down onto the ice to consult with the team.
Ich muss ja an dem vorne vorbei. Schau mal, ich habe da nur so viel Platz. Da muss ich mit so einem Softie kommen, dass ich auch noch in Gefahr laufe, dass ich den anderen reinschiebe. Ja. Weil das läuft da so unkontrolliert.
Ja, stimmt schon.
Weil es einfach so abschmieren.
Ja, schon klar. Und den da rauszwicken geht nicht so.
Es gibt zwei, also ich sehe 2 Möglichkeiten. Wir zwicken den da raus oder wir versuchen das Double.
Se, Dion kan komme på indersiden. Det er rigtigt. Fordi Steff ikke lige kommer ind og lukker af, ikke? Og så klikker Steff på den der, og så er vi ligesom i gang, ikke?
Be interesting to see what input Rainer gives here.
Oder ich kann versuchen, den so rauszuzwicken. Den so langsam abzuspielen, dass ich ihn da rausdrücke, das geht auch. Geht nicht. Ja, genau, sehe ich auch so. Ja, es ist halt beides nicht ganz einfach. Versuchen mal rauszuzwicken, oder? Geht wahrscheinlich auch schief, aber weil mit dem Eis ist das so schwierig auf der Seite.
Yeah, so I think that's what they've decided, just to clean pick the yellow.
So of course by a clean pick we mean they're just going to try and chip it out and leave the 2 reds around the 8-foot lying shot stone. So just need to hit a small piece of this yellow.
So Andrea Schopp with our final stone of the 9th end, looking to pick the yellow off the top. Bit of excitement now. And makes the shot perfectly, and it looks like it will be a score of 2. So a coach's job done well there. So now Germany lead 6-5. Strange call by Lena Nielsen with her final stone.
Yeah, I definitely think that one will be discussed after the game when Ulrich Schmidt gets his hands on them.
So Andrea is playing the takeout.
That's a super shot by Andrea. Exactly what was called. And the game's really come to life in the second half. Lots of shots being scored in the last 3 ends, trading 2s. At 10th end, Denmark, they have been trying to control the hammer the whole game, and they've put themselves into a position that they would have quite fancied themselves, 1 down with the hammer.
Yeah, so you're watching live coverage from the Gruyère European Curling Championships 2014 from La Palladium, Champéry, Switzerland. Germany lead Denmark 6-5 in this 10th end.
Den er lidt tight på linjen. 2,5 er fint. Linjen er okay.
Well, Denmark need to make sure they use the free guard zone here. Make sure they get their stone out in front of the house so that the Germans can't remove it. And it's a nice corner guard from Charlotte Clemenson.
So Germany have got one in the forefoot, so they're probably just going to throw another one right in on top of it, or a tight guard.
Yeah, absolutely, and we'll see Denmark trying to manipulate the play over towards that corner guard that they've just thrown with their first stone. That's some excellent setup play though by Lisa Ruch. Looks pretty happy with her good work.
So Charlotte Clemenson just looking to come around this guard played by Germany. Does enough. Meanwhile, over on sheet A, Scotland 6-4 ahead on Switzerland. Scotland's Ede Muirhead looking to play a nose hit against two. And that one looks as if it's going to come down onto the nose. And it'll be a score of 1 and a 7-4 lead going into the 10th end.
Yeah, it's a big game, that one. You'd expect both teams probably to make it to the playoff stages, so maybe one of those games that could just make the difference to the ranking when it comes to the page playoff. So Germany are going to try and follow this lead stone down. Try and make the freeze on the top of the forefoot here.
So finds a nice spot. Maybe would have liked to curl a couple of more inches.
Well, there's one thing you've got to say about Andrea's communication with her sweepers is that it's clear.
I thought it was more direct.
It's definitely that.
Jana Ellegaard just looking to open things up a little bit. Doesn't quite catch it right.
Well, not bad. They just misjudged the sweep in there a little bit, and I think the key was that you really need to keep that yellow played stone in a corner guard position. They've just rolled a little bit too far. It's going to be difficult for them to squeeze one in behind there at any point. I like that they're starting to open up the middle of the sheet though, and they can start to move the play towards the corner. The Germans aren't going to fall for that trick though. They're going to try and put the centre guard back on here with Kirsten Ruch.
Yeah, finds a nice spot again.
Gläser, Kästen.
Makes that peel now fairly difficult. You're driving the second red back onto the yellows.
Prøv den igen. Ja. Vil du spille samme fart eller
So,
mere?
over she'd see Finland 8-2 winners over Estonia. So Finland 4-0, going really strong here at the European Championships.
Yeah, and unfortunately Estonia will have to wait until draw 5 to try and pick up their first win of the week. Back to our featured game, and Shanna Ellegard trying to mop things up here. Trying to make a double peel on the centre line.
Yeah, makes the double peel, but does leave her own stone on that centre line. Do you think Andrea will just throw another guard, or? But over on sheet E, Scotland's picking up the win over Switzerland. 7-4, that one. So
yeah.
Scotland now on 3 wins, 1 defeat. Switzerland dropped to 2-2.
Cheers.
Scotland starting to get into their stride now after a slow start, losing to Denmark in their first game, but really starting to look good.
Okay. Spiel mal den und mit da liegen bleiben.
So that was a good shot by Shanna Ellegard. Just changed things up a little bit and changed the Germans' tactics. They're now going into the house to try and make a takeout on that yellow stone at the top of the forefoot. Slightly more difficult shot here for Monika Wagner.
I don't really think there was much need to go after this, Logan. I think throwing another guard with this one would have been good enough. But if you're going to play it like that...
Yeah, textbook execution by Monika Wagner.
Last couple of ends, she's played really, really well.
Yeah, absolutely. She's made a couple of key hit and rolls that really turned the ends for Germany when it looked like it was all going Denmark's way.
No, okay. Nej.
So electing maybe to try and hit the second one. Oh, that's a disastrous shot, really.
Jeg har 9,25. Was that one out?
Not had a strong game. Stephanie Risdal pushes both reds in behind the guards.
Yeah, well, that is a steep learning curve when you're moving from the juniors into the senior game, and Stephanie just hasn't quite been at her best today.
Warten. Nein. Weg.
So if Germany could get round into the top of the 8 foot, they'd really look good for a steal. Oh, this is a great shot from Monika Wagner.
Yeah, Monika really stepping up to the plate now. Never really tell whether she's made her shot or not. Her expression always remains quite unchanged.
Yeah, so Denmark been forced to run this guard straight back. It's not really what you want to be doing. Only 50% on 11 hits.
No, well, the focus now has really moved away from scoring 2 and just trying to make sure that they get a score in this end. It's quite a handy result there, catching one out wide, and might just force Germany to play a takeout instead of throwing a guard. Good shot there by Risdal.
Yeah, I think if you're Germany, you're probably going to have to play the takeout in the yellow.
Well, Andrea certainly hasn't wanted to turn down a takeout, so should be a straightforward call.
So Germany looking pretty good in this 10th end. They do lead by 1. So only 40% on draws. Certainly, as you said, Logan, the strength is the takeout game. Oh, that's a great shot. So here you see just keeping that one clean all the way down and rolling in on top.
Well, it's kind of decision time now for the Danes. They could probably try some sort of a riskier shot to try and set up the deuce, or they could make a play on the stone at the front of the forefoot, try and open things up to make sure they score 1.
Yeah, the other shot would be maybe just come down controlled weight and bump the red back of the forefoot. Hope for a mistake from Germany.
Yeah, I think you would love to be able to come down onto the red on the T-line and just tap it back and create a nice pocket for your yellow stone, but it's actually a very difficult shot to play because of the position of the corner guard, so we'll see what they decide here. Yeah, see the clocks in the background, they're just starting to tick away. It's not nearly as bad as you'd have thought in the past when they've only got a minute and a half to throw their last 2 stones. It is thinking time these days, and it should be more than ample.
Yeah, the clock does actually stop when the stone is being played, so it doesn't punish people who want to be quite aggressive and play a lot of draws. So just looking to run back this on the triple, are they?
Yeah, I think it's probably the right call as well, just to try and spray it and open it up and get out of here and try and set up better in the next end. Really hasn't been a good end for the Danes.
So only removes 1 of the reds, and
well, actually they didn't quite catch the sweeping early enough there. They've hit that one too thick, and you know, if they hit it in the right spot, they might even got a roll right over behind that yellow stone on the left-hand side of the picture. But Andrea will be quite happy to throw her favoured out turn hit.
yeah, she'll just look to hit and flop across, make it difficult. So sweepers onto this one pretty early.
I would say very early. I think Andrea shouted before the stone was even out of her own hand, so no panic though. And even manages to stick around with some help from the other reds.
Yeah, pressure shot now for Lena Nielsen. Does she play the draw to the 1 foot or just play the nose hit?
Well, there's certainly not much real estate to play a draw to. Just depends on where Lena is feeling most confident. You see the clock's now down to 40 seconds, so she better make her mind up quickly.
Yeah, I think she's going to play the nose hit. Can't afford to be high. So needs this to pick up a 1 and go down the extra end. So with 10 seconds remaining on the clock, Lena Nielsen plays her final stone of the 10th end, and this one's curling hard. Have they held it enough? It's going to overcurl, and it's going to be a steal for Germany, and a game of missed opportunities. Germany winning 7-5 in a topsy-turvy game.
Thank you. Thank you. Thank you.
So Germany now 2 wins and 2 defeats. Denmark also on 2 wins and 2 defeats. So things looking fairly tight at the top of the women's standings.
Das war im 4. End schon klar.
Abwaschen und abtrocknen.
Also im 4., 5. End hast du dich zum Abspülen gespielt.
Aber du zum Abtrocknen.
Eighth end, and Lena Nielsen just needing to draw the 8 foot for 2 points, and the lead in the game. Makes it perfectly. Ninth end, big chance for Andrea Schott to take the lead into the 10th end. Playing the pick on this yellow stone in the 8 foot, makes it perfectly, and they swung the game in their favour. And 10th end, Lena Nielsen looking for a nose hit to take this into an extra end. Sweepers done all they could, but this one just overcurled and sneaked out of the 4 foot. And it was a steal of 1 for Germany and a 7-5 win over Denmark. So elsewhere, you see Russia beating Latvia 10-2. Sweden 8-1 over Czech Republic, and the Finnish going strong 8-2 over Estonia. And we've seen earlier Scotland 7-5 victors over Switzerland. So here's the standings. Finland and Russia topping the table. Scotland there on 3-1, Denmark 2-2 alongside Germany. Sweden also there with Switzerland on 2-2. Latvia and Czech Republic yet to get off the mark.
Andrea, congratulations. Would it be fair to say that your team's performance improved as the game went on?
Yes, it became better. We had a disaster of a 9th end yesterday, and it started kind of this game again in the 9th end, so I was really afraid that it will go the same way, but yeah, we somehow get out of it. And yeah, and the 10th end was really good played by the whole team, I think. Yeah.
You've obviously got a couple of new players this season. How are they adjusting to the big stage?
Yeah, of course they are really young. They are 21 and 23, and yeah, it's difficult in this age. And with all the troubles we had before we came here, it's not easy for them. And for this, I think they are really doing a good job.
So, under the circumstances, what's the realistic goal for the week for Team Germany?
We had not really a goal. Of course, the goal must be that we stay under the first 8 or 7, and then we take it from game to game, and we'll see how it's going on.
Thanks very much for your time.
So that was winning skip Andrea Schopp. 7-5 victors over Denmark. So that concludes the coverage from the Gruyère European Curling Championships 2014. Please join us again this afternoon for more coverage from Champéry, Switzerland. So from Logan and myself, Kenny Edwards, thanks for listening.